Today on Dylan Talks Tone, we're going to start a pedal board build. Something I have maybe never even done on this channel. Let's do it. So, I, on this channel, have never really done a whole lot of pedal stuff. And I was thinking about it the other day. I've got a bunch of pedals sitting here, and I've got a pedal board that we need to go get out of storage. Let's get the pedal board out of storage. Let's build some cables. Talk about how to build patch cables. We're going to wire this pedal board up, what order to put stuff in, and also power supply and stuff. Let's get on it. All right, stopping at the mini storage to get a pedal board and some cables. So we'll talk about good cables next step. Okay, so cables for a pedal board. We've done a bunch of videos on this before. This is actually leftover guitar cable from when I used to make guitar cables and sell them on the website. We don't do that anymore because it's just too much weight to carry around. But what makes a good guitar cable for a pedal board? Basically, just heavy duty. Make sure that you make them properly. So we're going to get into that in a few minutes. As far as the actual pedal board cable quality is concerned, it's not the same thing as going from the guitar to the pedal board. We have a whole bunch of, we could do another video about this if you want me to, but we have a whole bunch of videos actually about cable capacitance and how a lower capacitance cable makes a better cable because you get more clarity, you don't lose as many highs, especially over the 30-foot distance or 20-foot distance or whatever you go from the guitar to the pedal board. But what the interesting part is that once you hit your first preamp, so let's say you use a Boss TU3 tuner on your pedal board, your first always-on pedal that has a buffer in it pretty much negates the whole, doesn't negate the whole capacitance issue on the pedal board, but it does lessen it quite a bit. So you don't really have to worry a whole lot about low, super low capacitance cables on the pedal board. But we want good quality. We want stuff that'll be able to be nice and flexible and bend and fit and etc. So let me grab the actual pedal board we're going to use. So here it is. So a few years ago, Creation Music Company made me this pedal board. Check that out. Isn't that cool? And so I'll give you some better shots of this and such. But this is going to be the pedal board we're going to use. Now we need to go over to my mother-in-law's and get our mail because I've got a power supply for this whole project in here too. Something just happened. We got a new box. Might as well show you this stuff. I haven't even seen it yet. New proper Adidas Dylan Talks Tone hat, embroidered top. It's pretty killer, man. I wanted to add another snapback, which is pretty killer. Gray, black back, red letters. Heck yeah, sweet. It works all right. This is the OG Dylan Talks, or the Dylan Pickups logo. This was my original logo, like before Dylan Talks Tone even was a YouTube channel. So that's back on the website as well. You can go to the link below and order that stuff if you want. One more little tangent. A Pure Tone, one of those Pure Tone output jacks, because we're going to talk about that in an upcoming video. Okay, so this is why we're really here. This is the Puretone CS7. This thing is killer. So it's going to come with all the stuff. This is brand new. I just bought it on Amazon. We will put a link to it in the description. This is called a switching power supply. This is much different than some of the other brands on the market. And we're going to talk about that later when we wire it up. I'll show you on the back side why I like this one so much. I actually used to have the CS12, which was the big version of this, but for the pedals that you saw earlier, we don't need that many. So I guess let's go back to the picnic table and start laying out our pedal board and deciding what we're going to do with it. All right, so now we are back and we've got our pedal board here. I'll tell you a little bit more about this pedal board. This is from Creation Music Company. They sent it to me like a couple of years ago, and it's unbelievable. I've used it a few times. I'll put a link to their products in the description of the video. They're killer stuff, and I think you would really dig them. So check them out. They made this custom nameplate on the front for me, so it's pretty cool. So we've got that, and then we ordered, of course, Amazon put the sticker on the front, so I can't show you the packaging, but here is the One Spot Pro CS7 pure isolated power supply. This is the dude. Now it's pretty cool because we have 200, 200, 200, 200, 200, 500, and 500 milliamp, and then an 18 volt 100 milliamp. Now under normal circumstances with a lot of power supplies, there is an individual isolation transformer on each one of these outputs, and you cannot over draw that output, otherwise you'll mess up that output transformer. This is a little different. It's almost basically a cumulative thing, so it kind of doesn't matter where you plug stuff in as long as you don't exceed the current draw on the entire unit. So that's one of the things I really like about it. On the bottom, there's some dip switches here so that you can choose different voltages. So you can go like 12 volts versus 9 volts. You just have to make sure that these are right before you plug them in. But that's pretty cool. So you can actually you can switch any of your 9 volt power supplies to 12 volt with a dip switch. Because some pedals, you know, there are some pedals that run that way. Nice and compact size. Proper plug on the back. Pretty cool. Yeah, this thing's pretty awesome. So there's that, and then in these bags we have all the various power adapters so we can plug up our various pedals, our power cord, some mounting brackets, and some mounting hardware. So we'll figure out how to mount this thing up. I've got a few pieces of dual lock on the pedal board already, which is probably what I'm going to use. I only need to put 4 pedals or something on here right now, so it won't be that big a deal. And as far as mounting everything, this will probably be fairly simple. In fact, I probably will just use dual lock to mount this. I'll tell you what, let's go grab some dual lock and we'll put the pedals on the board, and then we'll lay it all out, and then we'll talk cabling. I want to leave a spot for a wah. Theoretically, the compressor needs to go wired. So the way this should work is we should put the compressor in the front, then the wah, then a couple of drives, and then I usually put all of my time-based stuff on the top row. So delays and tremolos and reverbs and stuff like that. That's usually how I do my stuff. So I guess we'll put the compressor here, and then we'll add the wah here at some point. This is cool. This is what we wanted. Now, let's flip it over and put the power supply on the bottom. All right, power's on the bottom. pedals are on the top. Next thing we need to do is basically map out where all of our wires are going to go. So we've got our guitar cable is going to come into the front of the compressor. For now, it's going to go out of the compressor and then to our clone. Then it's going to go to our DNM drive. Then it's going to go to our Canyon. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to end the video off there because this is going to get really long because we need to solder up these cables and we need to check the cables. So in the next video, we're going to make some cables. We'll probably make a couple of guitar cables too. And then the other thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how one of these things works, because this thing is a fantastic tool to check cables with. And then a couple other little tricks that I built up to make making cables a little bit easier. And then we're going to power all this up and then we're going to demo it. We're going to play it. We're going to have some fun with it. I'm kind of excited. Maybe by the time we get the next video, I'll have a wah pedal too. So make sure you check out our next video. We got a new thing where we're doing weekly news. I think it's going to come out on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, something like that. Pretty stoked about it. There's already one up there. By the time you see this, there might be another one. Pretty sweet. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you check out the website again for some merchases, and also make sure you check out our live video as well as whatever else we got going. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you soon.